Hello, everyone. This is Ross from Retro Dream Beam. I'm an eBay seller full time. I've been doing this with my fiance Netta for a couple years now. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm about to go into what we're shipping out after Thanksgiving. So this is on Friday. So these 2 days are pretty good. The post office was closed yesterday, so we weren't able to pack orders, or else we would have done it. But other than that, I also took the day off from listing. I don't take many days off, especially since we started eBay. So I've just been so stressed in general about eBay that the day off was really nice. I just played like a video game pretty much the whole time. And then another cooked some good food. It was like some good like veggies, potatoes, uh, some vegetarian meatballs, which are really good. They were from IKEA. IKEA. We got a lot of stuff from IKEA. Well, we got the stuff a bit ago. She just cooked some. It was really good. All right. So the first thing right here is going to be map only Fortress Casino, The Road to Rome ASL hex map. ASL is advanced squad leaders, not the typical MySpace asking someone's for age and stuff like that. So here's the map right here. These are pretty good. There's a lot of these war game little bits and pieces and box sets, but also them individually do pretty well. This stuff is pretty vintage and old, so even just the maps do pretty well. People love Advanced Squad Leader and Squad Leader. I've never played them. I do think it looks intriguing. I wish I can like run into someone that has a lot of knowledge base about it so I can like absorb the wisdom and ask them questions. But we do come across this stuff. This map alone sold for $36.39 plus shipping. So everything's gonna be plus shipping. So yeah, Squad Leader stuff's pretty good. All right, moving along, we have more Warhammer 40k bits and pieces. These are the Chaos faction right there. It's just a little baggie of bits and pieces. It's like 50 plus of them. I just had the number 7 labeled so I know which bag to grab. This has just been a windfall of money. This is $17.49 for that one. All right, moving along, we have a repeat buyer. This is for an RPG book called Heroes Forever. That's it, number 1. It kind of looks generic or something like that. So yeah, you don't have to have anything too crazy for RPG books. We grab all these like weird oddities all the time. This sold for $5.66, so definitely on the lower end, but still, we get them pretty cheap. People like that stuff. So that's like a superhero one. People do like the superhero RPGs, but I do feel like we usually get less money for them. People usually want to do like sci-fi and fantasy and other stuff like that. All right, next up is going to be a strategy guide book for Panzer General 3D Assault. I remember the Panzer General PC games back in the day with the little like hex grids, and you're playing different like wars, and you're controlling different like airplanes, ships, tanks, infantry. So yeah, this is just a strategy guide book. We get a bunch of these strategy guide books from the person we get books from. This one only sold for $6, so another small sale, but it's okay. Like I get those pretty cheap, and I do enjoy the strategy guide books. All right, moving along, we got this from an estate sale. I think we do a lot of bulk buys from some people that we know that run estate sales. This, I think, is something Netta grab. This is just going to be a bunch of cool gold colored like ribbons and strings, so someone can use this for crafts. Honestly, they're probably going to use these for packing gifts this year. And we had a good price, so this is $15.40. There's a lot of like new packages in here. I think there's like 22 or more different like things that they can use. So this is really cool. I'm glad we sold it. This stuff's really cheap at estate sales when we get them. It does take a while for it to sell. I completely forgot about it until obviously it sold and we went to grab it. $15.40 for that is great. All right, moving along, another War Machine, but this is actually their hordes, their fantasy part of the game. This is Grimkin, the Wicked Harvest faction. These are Hollow Men and Lantern Man right here. So this is going to be a unit squad. Unit squads usually have like 8 to 10 different figures in it. They move along on the battlefield together. The Grimkin, there's only like 32 different SKUs for this particular faction before Privateer Press canceled the whole game. This one sold for $31.49. I had a note that I got this at auction for $3.75. And before I got these Grimkin from the auction, I was actually not aware of the faction as well. So that's obviously a sign that it's a more rare one because I didn't know about it. All right, moving along, we have a lot of 5 Shadowrun books right here. These do pretty well for us. Shadowrun's really popular. They have a lot of RPGs and books like that. Let me see if I can actually show the titles right there as I talk about it. So yeah, you can grab these RPG books, do really well. There's different editions. This is like sci-fi, post-apocalyptic, futuristic fantasy, honestly. These books as a bulk lot sold for $31.50. So yeah, these are pretty good. Even the individual ones can do pretty well. Whenever I get Shadowrun, I look them up. If they're not too crazy for sales numbers for individuals, I do lock them up eventually. All right, next up is, which I don't remember, Super Nintendo Super Mario Paint plastic mouse pad right here. I don't remember playing the Paints game too much. It was probably like I played it a little bit and I was like, okay, I'm going to go back to Super Mario World. I never played it. And that is giving me a look as if it's like blasphemy. But yeah, apparently this was like a little mouse pad for the little mouse. I do remember the mouse controller. So yeah, this one sold for $15.30. There you go. We don't find video game stuff often. We actually got that from the person we get miniatures from. So it's just like a random thing that they had in there. So yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, moving along, we have a playing card deck. This was an old pick by me. I've always been into the playing cards. Like I collect some myself, and then to buy them for a quarter, 50 cents or $1, always on eBay. I eventually calmed down. I try to pick the cool ones. Now this is state by state right here. So there's going to be a bunch of different little cards with just different things from the states. This one, yeah, it does kind of look unique, but the art doesn't look too crazy as little factoids about the states. This sold for $7.71, which is, it's okay for a playing card deck. That was an old listing. I think Netta maybe even listed it. Like I can tell where it was taking like the pictures on the couch. All right, moving along. That's what it looks like. All right, moving along. We have another thing I got at auction. This is the Surfing Gingerbread Man for HeroClix. And I actually liked this one when I grabbed it. So HeroClix has a bunch of different promo figures that you can get from different events, from going to local shops to play. This one says exclusive on it. If I had to guess, this was probably from like going to an event or something. That's my guess. But like, there's a lot of ways to get promos. Sometimes they're expensive, sometimes they're not. I sold this one for $17.49. I think I paid $2 for this one. No one else wanted him at auction. All right, moving along. Oh, there was like a little die-cast car in the other room that I forgot to grab. It was a mint green Thunderbird little plastic car, like a Matchbox one. It sold for $11.19. Sorry, I forgot to grab it. All right, moving along. We have a Crazy Bone. I got a bunch of my old Crazy Bones from my parents' house like a couple months ago. I listed all of them. I think this is the third lot that sold. Well, this isn't a lot. This one's individual. So this is going to be Eggy. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it. I'll try to cover my face so you can see it right there. This one was just a super popular, and I think it was like a rare one. It's just a little egg with like hands and stuff. This is from the base set, so there's going to be a lot of different colors for Crazy Bones. This one particular character sold for $15.74, which is a lot for like an individual Crazy Bone. All right, moving along. I have a really cool sale right over here. Give me a second. Well, they're delicate, but not that delicate. It'll be okay. So I got these. So there's a little story with these. So these were at auction. You can actually see right here. Which one? Oh, I will take it out of the bag, but I want to show them this real quick. So these were labeled as Candyland miniatures and stuff. So like people were laughing at the auction. I think the person, so like the seller right here, they get to label like what their auction item is. Okay, they can't see. It just says Candyland on it. I got all of these, I think, for $2 each, which was crazy. So I was kind of far back, but I saw these, and they did mention that these were painted. These were painted, I would say, on a pretty good professional level. I just think that people were laughing and thinking of Candyland, the board game, but hopefully they can see this right here. So these are all Frost Giants. These are Reaper Bones miniatures. These are plastic, but like, look at the crazy effort and time the person put into this. I got this for $2. It's just crazy. You can even see the base. I'm not sure if they can see. Can they see? Okay, so this guy was the king. I think I got like 5 or 6 of these. This one right here is going to be more of like a brute character with like a chain whip and then like a little heavy one-handed maul, or maybe it's two-handed, and he has a bunch of like weapons on his belt right there. And they even put like a custom little base down here, and they also did like detail in the basing right here. Pretty crazy. And then this one's really cool. This one's like an Frost Giants, a lady with a huge two-handed spear. Also a lot of detail. And then the detail on the cloak was so crazy. Like they're like almost individually painted. Cover my face right there. Yeah, there you go. Take a look at like how much detail the person on the cloak right there. So yeah, these are like fancy rainbow colors, but this is done pretty well. I sold these 3 for $60 each, so that's $180. I knew they would do well. I wish I got more of the painted stuff at the auction, but yeah, I was shocked. I even remember the auctioneer, one of them, when they were packing up the stuff, they came up to me and they said, "I can't believe you got this for $2. I actually want this one. Would you take it for? I'll give you $20 for it." And I was kind of like, I didn't say anything. He's like, Oh, you can say no. And I was just like, oh yeah, I kind of want to keep it because yeah, I didn't even think $20 was good enough for these professionally painted miniatures. So yeah, that was a really cool sale. I'm gonna kind of move these out of the way right now. So yeah, that was a combo order for $180 or slightly less. All right, moving along for something way less money, but still pretty cool. The Elfland Chronicles. This is a spring 1975 magazine. I don't know anything about this, but we grab a bunch of like RPGs and magazines and stuff like that. So yeah, this one looked pretty cool. I can tell by the art. This one sold for $7.37. All right, moving along, we have a Blokus dice game, but this is the Roll and Write. Roll and Write games are really cool. They've been super popular, I want to say, for 4 or 5 years right there. A Roll and Write game is kind of, they also have Flip and Writes. It's basically Yahtzee, but with more more mechanics or something like that. The base mechanic for Yahtzee is you roll the dice and then you get more chances to re-roll dice, and then you're making a choice, and then you go to your little sheet of paper and you write down how much points you get, and then there's so many rounds, and eventually everyone looks at their sheets of paper. Who has the most points wins. So this is based off of the Blokus board game. So you have a little sheet of paper and there's dice that's rolled. These games are a lot of fun, honestly. Like, I'm excited the person's excited about this. We played one by Thunderworks Games called Cartographers. We've played it a bunch. Roll and Write games are just like a lot of fun. So if you ever actually liked Yahtzee, even just a little bit, you should delve into the world of Roll and Write games, Flip and Write games. They have a lot of really cool, like well-designed modern ones. There are some that are hard to learn, but a lot of them are pretty easy to learn. You can play with any number of players. You can bring in like color pencils and pens and stuff and markers if you don't want to use like the base pens or pencils in the games. Really cool. This sold for $13.87. So I'll grab any Roll and Write, Flip and Write games I find out in a while because I know people love them. It's been more popular, and I don't think the popularity is going away. All right, next up is going to be a DVD. I actually watched the show when I was a kid, Three's Company. This is season 8 DVD set right here. We usually get like DVDs relatively cheap. We don't get too many, but we still have some. So yeah, I remember this show was a lot of fun to watch. It was basically the last thing that was on before I go to sleep as a kid. So I remember this character Jack or whatever. That's all I remember. It's been a long time. And then there's like that older guy who's the landlord. All right, so yeah, this one sold for $13. All right, we have 2 more items left, or actually 3. This right here is a 1981 Yatming Kenworth K100 Co. diecast toy truck right here. So yeah, we got a bunch of these toy trucks from the person who flips storage units. This one sold for $30, so I guess this one was special. I mean, it looks pretty cool. I think it said it was like, no, never mind. I was going to say it was like made in not China. All right, so yeah, I did show all the pictures of everything, like all the maker's mark on the bottom of it. So yeah, I don't know why that one sold for $30, but it did. All right, and then this is Criss Angel, Believe, Cirque du Soleil playing card deck. So yeah, Criss Angel, I think my parents watched him back in the day. He does magic tricks. So yeah, this is just one of his playing card decks. This just looks like a tourist deck to purchase. This one sold for $14, so I guess it did pretty well. I don't honestly remember picking this one up. But yeah, I do know people like Criss Angel. I'm not sure if he's still doing magic tricks now. And then we also had a sale on Mercari. I believe someone's going to use this Care Bears gift bag. We probably got this at an estate sale, so yeah, it's a pretty good condition. So there's the green bear, and then, I don't know, is this blue or purple? And then is this one blue or purple? I'm like red, green colorblind, which includes other colors like blue and purple. All right, so this sold for, do you actually remember how much it sold for? Oh, okay. Okay, it sold for a mystery amount. If I had to take a guess, anywhere between 8 to 20. Yeah, you can get like old bags like that, even gift bags and stuff do pretty well, especially if they have characters, or like restaurants or retail stores, especially if they're not like around anymore. So yeah, that is everything. I'm out of breath. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Have a good week, and